Ian, great to be back in your company today. You're just telling us a nice light session for the boys. How was today's session?
Yeah, it was good. Obviously build up to tomorrow's first competitive game, so we're trying to get into that routine of almost like a Friday for us today. That's how we work. We don't work in hours, we work in days, so we're looking forward to it. The players, as you heard, sound like they're looking forward to it down there. So yeah, they're ready to get going, as are we, and I'm sure the supporters are the same.
You mentioned about the players clearly buzzing. Well, we did walk past the dressing room and it was a mixture of Ronan Keaton and all about the bass, etc. You getting a singing teacher in the next few weeks?
We'll need it. We'll need it. As long as they perform in the park, they can have their fun off it as well. But they are in good spirits. They are coming together as a group, although there's not been too many changes. But yeah, you know, they're looking forward to the game. That's what footballers want to be doing, is playing football. The pre-season's a tough time for them, and it's tough for staff. So we're all delighted to be getting refocused into game days.
Well, speaking about buzzing, I'm hoping that the camera's not picking up too much the noise in and around the stadium. It's a hive of activity with the actual grand old lady herself getting some work done as well. You'll be seeing a very busy environment round about you. Yeah,
it's a busy time. You know, yeah, football stops over the summer here, but the work behind the scenes doesn't. You know, full testament to the people that are doing the work behind the scenes as well. You know, working in the ticket office, trying to get the strips ready for the supporters. The open day was on, and then the players on a Saturday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So it's been all systems go since we've came in, and like I said before, it's a huge effort from everybody, and that's what it needs and that's what it takes to be successful. So we're getting there slowly but surely off the park, and slowly but surely on it hopefully as well.
Let's start in a wee bit of kind of reflective mode. 4 games in pre-season, let's go through them in turn. What did you grab from each game? You know, we had Dunbar up first, Queen of the South, Kelty, and of course the game against Alloa on Saturday past. What did you take for each game, and how have they helped your understanding of your squad?
Yeah, the couple of games were organised before myself and Scott came in, which was fine. They were good dates for us. They were good opposition. The testimonial was just a leg opener really for us, and an occasion for Grant down at Dunbar. And it was a good run out as well. It was played in the right spirit, and we got our players, you know, we played a 4-3-3 that day just to have a look at it, and we got all our players on the pitch, which was important as well, and on a very nice hot day. But it was a leg opener, and it was a bit of a loosener for us, and it was nice for the boys to get a few goals as well, to get their confidence up, particularly you know, Hammer, who's, you know, strikers thrive in confidence regardless of who you're playing, so he's done really well. Queen of the South, again, we played 4-3-3, again good to see it on a bigger pitch for us. Distances were quite far apart, they weren't ideal. It was good to play against a back three as well in Queen of the South. It gave us a tough game. Didn't play particularly well, I didn't feel within the game, but when I look back on it and reflect on it, there wasn't a lot in there that concerned me too much. 2 very sloppy goals that we conceded, which you can get the sloppiness out of the way now, and those things kind of help you move forward. You find out a few things about your players, who can do what and who can't do other things, and then we change it up against Kelty. There are 2 up front. A very, very competitive pre-season game, as competitive as game as I can remember in pre-season for a long time, which was great. Full credit to both sides. It wasn't over the top, it was just perfect for us, and we stood up to it well. Kind of, well, maybe a 10-15 minute spell where we didn't dominate the game, but overall I was very happy with how we handled that tight pitch and the atmosphere of that game. And then on Saturday in the closed door game, the boys were very good, very high tempo, real intensity to everything they'd done, and they gave the platform for the rest of the game after 15 minutes, made life very difficult for Alloa.
Can I ask you about the Queen of the South game? Is there some value in a game whereby you find yourself behind and you find yourself maybe not hitting the high points, that you can maybe take a bit more learning from that than actually steamrolling through a pre-season? Yeah,
we've learned, you know, we've learned from every game, to be honest, good and bad, and sometimes, you know, you have to take knocks to make decisions or realise things within your squad, and I felt Queen of the South was probably not a bad one for us to feel a little bit annoyed and frustrated, all of us, and realise where we actually were, and sometimes you need that wee boost or wee kick to get you going. I felt we responded from it fantastically well, so we've learnt that we can respond. We've learnt that we can come back in games as well, but we also know we can be sloppy because we've let a goal in, you know, 2 or 3 minutes after the equaliser. Very uncharacteristic mistake from Christoph within the game, but these things happen. But I just felt that game was maybe not the worst thing in the world that can happen to us.
I was struck on Saturday with the high line that you played. We didn't get a chance to speak after the game because you had so much scouting duties to get away to, and try and get up the road to various other games. power through 4 early goals, a lot of support, very fluid from the midfield forward, and I was noting that the fullbacks themselves had a really high starting point.
Yeah, it's just about trying to install that trust within the players, first of all in themselves and the rest of the teammates, and the messages we're trying to give them. Your fullback's high, yeah, you can be a wee bit open sometimes on the counter-attack, but you've got to go and impose yourself in the game, trust your fitness, trust your ability to take the ball, trust your teammate to be really high up the park, and also tell your teammates to come with you, because say the distances against Queen of the South were just a wee bit too much. Against Kelty it was different. The pitch was really small, the distances were fine anyway, but we won loads of second balls, and on Saturday the fullbacks were really high, and it's about getting your back two or stroke back three at times comfortable dealing with a 3v2, or sometimes it's a 3v1. It's about giving the opposition a decision to make, and I think, you know, watching the game back, and Alloa were caught a wee bit in the middle zone. They didn't really know to press us or not to press us. I think they realised after 50 minutes they can't press us because we're going to play around them, and that's no disrespect to Alloa, because they're a tough opponent, and they were tough to play against last year. They've got some good players. We just got it right, and sometimes you only need 15 minutes, but we know as well that sometimes you can do that for 15-20 minutes and it doesn't work, and you have to keep going.
3 goals conceded across the pre-season friendlies. How are you viewing our defensive capabilities as they stand?
Yeah, it's been good, because we know we don't have the depth at the moment that we would like. We've put Scott Brown back there just to get us on the ball and get us started. He's a really good player. He's had a great pre-season. Didn't surprise me. I've seen him take the ball at Peterhead for the last 3 to 4 years, and he's been very, very good with it. He's not afraid. And he drives the team forward at times as well. He's got a lot of aggression, and he's got a good passing range. But you know, the acid test, if you like, is competitive football. So we'll see how we go on tomorrow.
I'm struck by Scott Brown. He's been one of these players that maybe if you give him the gloves, he would probably give it a go. Is that accurate? Yeah,
his attitude has been great. His fitness levels are superb. He's played a lot of football. I think that's a huge part of being at the level he's at. He's been down in League 1 stroke League 2 for the last few years, but he's played it just about every week. I'd imagine he's been fit, doesn't pick up many injuries, knows what it's all about, knows what it's like to be in a team that has to graft hard. He knows what it's like to now be in a team that has the ball a lot, and he's always been the player in the Peterhead team that I was most fearful of, because I felt when he played well, Peterhead played well. He had some good players around about him, but he's certainly done very, very well for us, and been so far a really good signing.
We spoke about Scott, and we've spoke about Dylan previously. Tell us a wee bit about Ross Milne. He's got a few games under his belt. He'll be making that transition not only from playing football down south, but obviously everything that goes alongside it, relocating families, etc. How do you feel he's settled in, and what does he bring to the group? Again,
he's played a lot of football. He's at a good age. Slow start for Ross, but again, when you add in all the ingredients there, that, you know, the moving of the house, the transfer, coming back up the road, being injured at Christmas time, not played a lot, I think we can see now him coming up to the levels that he knows he can get at, we know he can get at. Takes players time. Not all players hit the ground running. Not all players can just walk into a new changing room, a new environment, a new manager, and go straight away. It takes a little bit of time. But Ross is a great professional. No worries over Ross whatsoever. I thought he was very good against Kelty. I thought he was excellent against Alloa, and we look for more of the same. But we have to give the players time to get used to our way of playing as well. And we're probably a wee bit, well, certainly on Saturday, we're further ahead than I expected us to be. But again, the test keeps coming. Can you do it again? Because we can all do it once, twice. We need to keep it going.
You must be happy with your business thus far, and that it's players you've worked with or players you've tracked, and players that you know will take on the responsibility of what you expect.
Yeah, it's been good. I know we're light in certain areas of the pitch. We know that. Like as previously said, we got offered that many players. We have had trialists in. They've not quite got to where we wanted them to be, or not quite what we were looking for. But I think I wouldn't say the pleasing thing, but the galling thing for me was looking around squads on Saturday at the games, and some teams with 1 sub, some teams with 4 subs, some teams with 3. You know, we're all in the same boat. We're all wanting players. We're all in the same market. We're actually not that bad off when we looked at take away the 4 trialists we had on a Saturday against Alloa. We still had a good core of 16-17. There's not a lot of teams at the moment out with the top league that have that. So as much as we know we need to strengthen, we also know we've got good players here that can fill gaps when needed, but we can also put a really good competitive side out on the park with the potential for boys to come on.
We need to stop referring to the squad that you've inherited, because it's now your squad.
Yeah.
Tell us about the wider group that you're working with. What's impressed you most?
It's been really good. I've really enjoyed it. Again, you come into a job or you have your opinions on players. Sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. You know, Aidan Conley's been excellent. You know, he covers so much ground for us. So important for the team, so valuable for the team. A really, really good team player, but also the quality he shows, and to come off the right hand side onto his left side is quite hard to find. A lot of teams play two right footers because there's a lot of right footers going around. I felt, you know, Ethan, Dillon and Aidan have combined really well. I think they look like they enjoy playing with each other, which in turn affects how well Jamie's done up front. You know, I know people have opinions on where Jamie wants to play or likes to play, but when he's playing as that striker and he's got that kind of service and those people around about him, it definitely makes his life a lot easier. There's things he can get better at, of course, and that's why, you know, we're here to help him do that. But so far, really impressed with him, playing with a smile on his face, which is great, and I think he needs that. But I firmly believe it comes from the back lot as well. You know, the full backs must be prepared to go high, because without them going high, the rest of the team won't click. And if they want to sit back and create big gaps between our sections of the team, and it's very difficult.
I'm interested in, you mentioned with Jamie playing with a smile on his face. I spoke with him recently, and we spoke about the difference between contributing to a game and actually being a leader within the park. And he probably is as it struck me as being as highly motivated as I've seen him across a couple of years that I've known him. Are you seeing that across the squad, that desire to impress the new boss, to nail down a starting position, and are you identifying that extra 5% in each of the guys?
Yeah, I think you know, I think all the boys have risen to the game so far. You know, we've not picked a captain yet. We've been passing it around for a reason, because yeah, the captain is important. We all need somebody who is an outstanding, you know, candidate to go and lead us, but we need more than one. You know, we need 5, 6. We need somebody that day. The captain's it's not quite going for him. He needs someone to help him. So it's about helping each other. Obviously Jamie took it on Saturday and scored a couple of goals, which was brilliant. We've had it with Liam as well, and Scott Brown, and Christoph. So we have got leaders in there. There's no question about that. I think we're starting to see a few boys now, certainly towards myself and the rest of the staff coming out their shells after pre-season. I know what it's like. It's, you know, trepidation of new staff, new management, new season, what's going to happen. But we're now been together a month, and we're now going to competitive games. And like I say, that you heard that the excitement for the players at the moment is pretty high.
The armband was something I found particularly interesting, because it's one of the things that fans, you know, we know the pivotal role that a captain can play, particularly in times of adversity. So it's moved across the team, but for young Jamie to come out and then for it to go to Ethan and then to go to Dario on Saturday, and you know, I was kind of watching the body language of Jamie to begin with, then Ethan and finally Dario, and it seemed like there was a bit of a note from each of them that I'm getting a bit extra responsibility here, and they seem to respond to it well. Yeah,
it is. I mean, the armband's always going to be a special moment for any player. You know, yes, over the years it's changed in terms of the role, but yeah, I think it gives a sense of trust to the players. It gives other players a little bit of a G up as well. Makes you demand more from players around you. Also, maybe makes your performance levels go up. I know in the past, with, you know, all over the place, it's maybe deteriorated some players' performance. But that, you know, every player goes through hard times. Every player has poor performances, and that's when we talk about, yeah, we have a captain, but we need more. We need 5, 6, 7 of the guys in the park to be able to pull everybody together and get them going in times of adversity. But so far the boys have responded really, really well to it. We've had a good bit of laughing in the changing room before games, because I don't really tell them, I just chuck them out when they're getting ready, and you know, that gets the rest of them going a wee bit. But yeah, we will nail someone down eventually, but we're still looking at the moment.